Thank you for listening to the 39th Street Church of Christ Daily Devotional. The devotional today is Don't Be a Mugwump by Jack Williams. God said, Don't be a mugwump. Well, not exactly, not in those words. But do you know what a mugwump is? The term began in 1884. There was a presidential election. And it seems those of one party that should have been supporting that president went to another party. They were mugwumps. Well, later there was a cartoonist who drew these indecisive people. And what he pictured it as is a bird with his mug on one side of the fence, his wump on the other. In other words, can't make up his mind. You ever known people like that? Well, I just don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe this, maybe that. Well, there are a lot of areas that's unimportant in. But whenever it comes to spiritual matters, we need to be decisive. Back in the book of 1 Kings, the 18th chapter, in verse 21, you find there as the battle at Mount Carmel with the prophets of Baal and Elijah is about to begin. And Elijah looked to the people and said, "How long halt you between two opinions?" Well, he charged them to serve the Lord. In other words, you can't go both ways. Can't have it both ways. Though a lot of people in the religious world think you can. There is one way. The Lord said in the book of Matthew in the 6th chapter, in verse 24, he said, you can't serve God and mammon. In other words, you can't be for God and be as the world. You make your choice. And we need to realize that there are people who depend on us to do that. The Apostle Paul was one in 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 1. He said, be followers of me as I am of Christ. In other words, there was nothing indecisive. He made up his mind to serve God. He made up his mind not to straddle the fence. He knew God, 2 Timothy 1 and verse 12. And he had a commitment there. The commitment was shown in 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, where he said, I fought a good fight, I finished my course, I've kept the faith. In other words, I live like God wanted me to. Jesus pointed out that it's an either-or proposition in Matthew 6. Matthew 7, he said there are really only two choices. You mug, you wump. Better make sure that you're both. You're all the way on one side. And that way is the narrow way that leads to eternal life. That's why God charged us that whenever we face things, that we take the avenue of, as he told those in Thessalonica, to prove, test, examine all things. You hold fast to that which is good. You abstain from the very appearance of evil. In other words, I don't try to put one part of me in the world and one part of me in the light. God is light, and in him is no darkness. So as you go through today, you and I will face a lot of choices. But we'll determine, too, whether we're like those of old back in the 1800s who made a commitment to one party, more than a party, made a commitment to God. But if we're like those who, whenever something comes along that tempts us a little bit, we switch. There is no turning back. We need to follow God. So today, God says, don't you be a mugwump. You follow me with all of your being. You love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And once you do that, you know whose side you're on. We're on the Lord's side. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this short devotional. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be notified of other devotionals that will be forthcoming. Also, we encourage you to join us online live as we stream our services at each service time. More information can be found on our website at the link below. Thank you.